Good Sunday morning. This is one of about 20 videos I'm putting out from the date I started until Christmas 2010. And so let's get to work. I have 3 tips for you this morning as a martial arts school owner. We're sitting in my office in Hilo, Hawaii, and this is where I do a lot of work and I store a lot of my junk. I'll show you some of my junk. I have 30 sets of photos of Sensei Keiko Fukuda, the 97-year-old judoka. These were taken by a well-known photographer in the 1970s at a women's event. And we're actually doing some fundraising for Sensei. There's a friend of mine, Yuriko, who's making a film about her life called Be Strong, Be Gentle, Be Beautiful. And have you ever heard anything more concise than that about martial arts mastery? There's another one. Let me find some other junk. My favorite book about food by Dr. Lillian Chung and my favorite Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh. If you haven't seen this yet, very important for martial arts because mindful eating is something we can talk about in classes, and heaven knows the world needs a better diet. Here's my little treasure that I'm reading, getting ready to read by this is the first woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize for environmentalism, Wangari Maathai. This copy is signed. Here are a couple posters I designed for recent things. This is the graduation certificate for the UBBT 6. And you see there's a lot of blank space here so that members could sign. But I love designing my own black belt certificates and making them pieces of art first, certificates second. And this was a graduation certificate for the Penn Hawaii Youth Foundation, and I love this. There's some various pictures of BJ changed, altered, and then it says, I finish what I begin. Doing these 11 by 17 posters, if you know how to use Photoshop, it's a breeze, kind of. Takes a little learning, but you can do it. Okay, let's get to our 3 tips. I would like to suggest that you develop a policy to never turn a student away for a lack of ability to pay. I think that the goodwill and effort that you put out when you help students in your community who couldn't afford to pay for your lessons far outweighs the cost of creating some space and time for them in your schedule. You could have a 1-day-a-week class on a Saturday morning that you let anybody come to, no questions asked, or for a small donation or whatever, to serve the grandmother who's taking care of her grandchildren after the mom has passed away, or for the single mother who's raising 3 kids, who's working 2 jobs. These people you can help. There are a lot of you who are watching this video who would never have been able to study martial arts if your instructor hadn't taken care of you. If you did a class on Saturday mornings, no strings attached, you could bring in your instructor trainees and let them teach under your supervision, and it would serve you and serve your community. And it makes you feel so good to have a conference where you're talking to someone isn't going to be able to afford your lessons, and you don't have to send them away. You've got something for them. You only have a finite amount of space and time on a Saturday morning, so it's first come, first serve, but that's a huge thing, and I would like to suggest you do that because I have a feeling that in the long run, you come out the victor in that situation. You develop more friends, good karma in your community, goodwill, and you never know when you take care of somebody how they come back and take care of you later. And by the way, you do recall the definition of a mature mind, one of my favorite things I learned from Nick Kokinos. It's perfectly appropriate this time of year at Christmas. The definition of a mature mind is to give without remembering and to receive without forgetting. I'd like to suggest that for the coming year, 2011, that you try this experiment. I'd like to suggest that you hang out with an entirely new crowd, and they should be made up primarily first of 3 groups. People who give TED Talks, that's TED.com, Nobel Prize winners, and people who win the MacArthur Grant, which is known as the Genius Award. 1 year, you bring these people into your circle of friends. Now, it doesn't mean you ace out all your other friends, but that you invite these people into your life, and they may not be able to come over to your house and have a cup of tea with you, but they're as readily available as a click of a button. And every day you should have a meeting with one of them and see what it does to your thinking, see what it does to your belief system, see what it does with the things you talk about and the things that you learn. If you did that one thing, I have a feeling, I know how it's worked in my life, but I have a feeling that it would have a dramatic effect on your business, on what you taught, on how you thought, on what your goals were, and on how you approach the world. And these are the raw elements of school success in a definition of success, which isn't currently practiced in the martial arts industry very often, but it's the kind of success we're looking for as master teachers. Again, for 2011, I'd like to suggest that you do the following exercise for 12 months. That is, to find 5 to 10 or more very serious martial arts people in your circle, in your network. And you may not find them in your school, you may not find them in your town, but they are out there. And you connect with these people and you pledge to support each other in a new pursuit of what is mastery. Come together, you talk. You can do it online, you can do it in Skype, you can do it via email, you can do it on the phone, and you hold each other accountable to a new kind of focus. And so basically you take a pledge to redefine your role and play the role of master teacher to the extreme. Of course, you have to define that, and you have to have some discussion. And the hardest part of doing this is listening to others and collaborating and not taking over, not discounting, not being cynical, but actually being able to forge a path that you can support each other in that benefits everybody. I'd like to suggest that you find the smartest and most disciplined people you can, that you redefine the role that you will craft for yourself, because there are hardly any people that you'll know that are going to live the lifestyle you choose to live. I suggest you find role models who would live their life in the most noble fashion. To suggest you meet online or on the phone at least once a week and maybe once a day in some cases. And my other suggestions are that you shun anything that's dishonest or questionable in your business. You shun the conventional martial arts industry, that you look outside of the box and the convention, and that for 1 year you seek to learn about your business, not in the industry itself, but not the conventional industry, but from outside of the industry, and see what that does to your business. I would like to suggest that you find some new teachers. That doesn't mean that you show any disrespect or disregard for your current teachers, but finding new teachers could be the key that unlocks the profitability of your martial arts school, because it's going to have a huge effect on what you teach and why you teach. And then while you're at this with your friends, I suggest that you, in digital form, write the book of what it means to be a martial arts master in today's world. Because really, that book has not been written. And it would be very interesting to watch 5 or 10 or more of you really pursue it at the next level and do all the things that I suggested. And of course, you're going to have your own ideas about it. And maybe the end result is to try to come out about 10% better at the end of the year. But a lot of people are looking for business success in the formulaic duplication of what one guy does to make money or what one gal does to get in 20 more students or whatever. And I think that the real success you're going to have in your business is in starting from your own inside and your own daily actions and what you're working on and who you're hanging out with. That the real success you're going to have, the long-term, definitive, life-changing, influence others, be a real master kind of change, comes from something that's beyond a step-by-step formula for signing up 10 new students or for starting a after-school program or all these things that are part of our world, but they aren't the fuel that drives our engine. Those are my tips today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you every day from now till Christmas if you can stomach me. All right, bye-bye.